So it's your senior year of high school and all your friends already know what colleges they're going into and what they're majoring in, but you, on the other hand, you're completely lost. You don't even know what you want to study. And to be honest, it can be very overwhelming. The counselor calls you in and she's like, "Oh, what do you want to study?" And you're like, "Dude, I don't even know what I'm going to eat for breakfast tomorrow." So it's a lot. So don't freak out. It's going to be okay. I wrote down a few things that I wish I knew while picking my major out. So I'm going to try to be as honest with y'all as possible and give y'all real tips. Alright, to start things off, explore your interest. I know you've probably heard this one a lot, but it's the best way to put yourself out there and to branch out. So in high school, I would definitely recommend taking classes that aren't really in the core curriculum. For example, I took psychology, video production, and a vet science class. It turns out I hated vet science. I remember we had a quiz that we had to identify every part of a hamster, and it showed a hamster flat out, and it was like, where is the femur and everything. And it was a weird quiz. I did good on the quiz, but I didn't like the class at all because it just wasn't part of my interest. But it's definitely something that I wouldn't have known if I didn't take the class. Now, if you're thinking, oh, my high school is kind of a small school and they don't offer a lot of things, well, luckily for y'all, everything got moved to online 2 years ago. So now you can find a ton of resources online for specific careers or specific fields. So definitely use your sources and do some research. All right, the next tip would be to have a general path of where you want to go. So I'm going to explain this a little because it's kind of confusing. But have an idea whether you want to go into humanities, STEM, arts, business, because that's going to make things easier in the long run. Especially as a freshman where you still don't really know what you're going to do. That's going to help you narrow down what you want to do. If you first start taking classes in arts and you just really commit to arts and everything and you decide, hey, maybe I want to switch to medicine, maybe some of those credits don't match up and you might have to retake some classes. So think this out. Maybe think, maybe I want to go in the STEM field because it's going to be easier to kind of move around in the STEM field compared to moving from the STEM field all the way to the humanitarian field. So think it out, think it over. Don't stress about it because you can still make the switch, but it will be harder if you switch from completely polar opposite majors than to majors that are already pretty close to each other. I'm going to be honest with y'all, I didn't really do that much research whenever I applied for architecture my freshman year of college. So when I got there, I was spending $400 in materials and a lot of time on projects and presentations, and I didn't even really enjoy it that much. It was fun, but it was just a lot of time and I didn't see myself doing a career in it. So I switched to civil engineering because I enjoyed math more and the numbers more, but it costed me the money, the time. So if you do your research before you make such a huge commitment on something that you don't really know much about. All right, my next tip would be don't do it for the money, but also do it for the money. This one's probably going to be the most controversial one that I have on this list, but you should search for careers that come along with your major. If you notice that your major doesn't have that many careers, then it might be time to think about similar majors with more careers. Alright, to follow that, don't pick your major blindly. Even if your parents or your friends are strongly encouraging you to go a certain route or to pick a certain major, you can take their advice for consideration, but definitely think about it. At the end of the day, you're going to be the one that's going to the classes, you're going to be the one that's doing the homework, you're going to be the one that's going to be taking those finals and applying to those internships. So it's all you at the end of the day. So do something that you want, do something that you like. Don't spend your time on what other people want, because if it doesn't make you happy, you're going to be miserable. I heard the story once that this mom really wanted her son to become a doctor and go into medicine. So he did. He went into the medical field and went to med school and graduated top of his class valedictorian. But once they got home after the graduation ceremony, he handed the mom the diploma and he was like, here you go. Since you wanted this so badly, I'm gonna go study something else. So at the end of the day, do it for you, don't do it for anyone else, unless you're trying to prove a point. No, do it for you. Do it for you. Right, the last one, which is arguably the most important one, would be to think about colleges. This can mean whether you want to go in-state, out-of-state, public, or private. The list goes on and on. We can make a whole another video about this, and we probably will in the future, but some things to consider to keep it short would be get in contact with their admissions, email them. Their email is usually pretty easy to find. Also find a college that has your interest in majors and see if they're credible, because some colleges offer your majors, but maybe they don't have that good of a reputation. So check if it's a credible college. Think about tuition. How are you going to pay for school? Are you going to get your family to help you out, or are you going to get scholarships or maybe some loans? But the main thing is to take some time to do your research on the colleges, because it's going to help you out in the long run. These tips help you guys out. I know it's a very stressful process, especially at the senior year of high school, because you've got prom, finals, graduation going on. So I hope it made the process easier. Don't be scared of college. College is a great place. You guys are going to love it. If you don't love it, then it's because you're not going to Texas Tech. But definitely relax, take some time. And yeah, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe, and leave comments down below if you're curious or have any more questions about picking your major. Thank you.